Welcome back to the Shreveport Connection with Tommy. As you see, this could be the new look Shreveport Connection background. Comment, good or bad, and I can only improve from that. And on with the wrestling report from SmackDown, NXT, and SmackDown portion of your WWE Internet. From www.com superstars. But first, what happened after Raw went off the air? Punk gave Miz and which one was it? Okay, Adam D attended Monday's Raw and reported from Edmonton and passed along the following notes on what happened after TV stopped airing when the Dark Match main event happened. The Miz and R-Truth ran out to attack John Cena and CM Punk in a 3-on-2 situation with Alberto Del Rio in the third. Cena and Punk gave Miz and Truth simultaneous DTS and attitude adjustments in the ring. Ricardo Rodriguez got thrown inside the ring afterwards, and he was given both finishers. Cena raised Punk's hand and left the arena. Punk continued to play to the crowd for about 10 minutes to close the show. And now, promised clip of Snitsky and Lita with superstar commentary from the new OMG, that's oh my god, the top 50 incidents in WWE history DVD set that came out this week.
Personification on television was a little weird to me. Shut up! What's your name, little baby? Oh, how cute. He doesn't know his name. Does your baby have a name? I guess we'll never know. Wow. What a savage. You look a little worried. Are you scared I'm gonna drop him? Take him. Take him. No! You can't have him! He's mine. And I'll do to him whatever I want. What? Oh. I'll never forget when Snitsky wanted the baby. Ain't a sack by Snitsky. Like the field goal or something. Come on, man. But what else could he do? It was more than long. Maybe it's just me being an old fella, but that was one of the funniest things I've ever seen. Snitsky saying it's not my fault for punting the baby. I think this is one of those things that wasn't designed to be as funny as it wanted to be. Oh, he's a sicko, all right. I'll agree with you on that. Look at him. The sight of him kicking a baby into the crowd like it was a football. It's pretty entertaining. It was kind of a nice viral. It wasn't my fault.
All right. And the Pilot newspaper out of Southern Pines, North Carolina, has a feature story on Matt Hardy's arrest over the weekend. The story noted that it could take several months for the blood test that Hardy submitted to be tested and returned. The story also noted at 12:46 p.m. Eastern Standard Time as the time when the police arrived following his Corvette crashed into a tree. To read the full story, visit thepilot.com. Well, independent wrestler Sterling James Keenan has now signed a WWE developmental deal and began working at FCW last week. The following matches were advertised tonight in Edmonton, Alberta for this week's episode of Superstars. Sheamus versus Heath Slater, Daniel Bryan versus Drew McIntyre. And Ryan Lunning attended the SmackDown taping in Calgary and passed along the report on WWE Superstars match. Wade Barrett, the dark match, defeated Bo Rotunda. And WWE Superstars, Brodus Clay beat a local wrestler. Justin Gabriel beat JTT. Okay, the match was Sheamus. Sheamus defeated Heath Slater. And Daniel Bryan defeated Drew McIntyre. Chris Masters has returned from wrestling in Portugal on his anti-WWE tour. Masters noted online that he filmed footage in Portugal for his Masterpiece Theater YouTube show. The WWE website notes that Santino Marella was scheduled to face Zack Ryder on last night's Raw before he was attacked on the ramp by Miz and R-Truth. Breaking news, The Rock is working as an executive producer along with Jerry Bruckheimer on a pilot episode for a pro wrestling drama series. So it's either a pro wrestling drama or series. NBC has committed to the pilot. According to Deadline.com, the show will be set in the 1980s and will be written by Brett Fletcher and Seamus Kevin Facey. To read more on the story, visit Deadline.com. And now for your WWE NXT on WWE.com. Live from Calgary, Alberta, Canada, the opening video aired. And Todd Grisham and William Regal checked in on commentary as this was Todd Grisham's last night in WWE. And they tossed it up to Matt Striker. Striker tried to do his bit, but Darren Young interrupted him and said he was tired of Striker. Striker said that they both had jobs to do, but Young cut him off. Young said his job had been beating Striker. He told Striker to get out of the ring. Striker asked what he wanted. Yes, he would admit he couldn't beat Young. Young said he wanted Striker to admit Young was the future. Striker stalled and then said Young was the better man. He said he was the past, but Young was the future. He offered his hand to Young. Young shook it, but kicked him in the gut anyways. Young hit a clothesline, and then William Regal ran him off before he could do any more. Backstage, Tyson Kidd found his locker trashed. He started bitching and cleaning it up. He hung up a travel bag for hanging his clothes. And the weird Japanese symbols that have been around Kidd were on it. It was a very boring opening. Though it'd be nice to see Regal get a little run, and either one of you that are watching can translate the Japanese. Pretty sure of it. Then send me an email with what the Japanese symbols mean. Match number 1, Trent Beretta defeated Tyson Kidd in 14 minutes and 52 seconds. A Let's Go Tyson chant broke out. They traded early rest holds with Kidd getting the cheers and Beretta getting the boos. Beretta hit a drop kick out of the air on Kidd for a 2 count. And then they cut the commercial with no lead out. Back for commercial, Kidd hit a kick from the floor to the apron on Beretta. He followed up with a neck breaker from the ring to the floor in a very nice spot. They ran a great Frankensteiner, rolled through sharpshooter tease, roll up near fall. That it kind of popped the crowd pretty good. Very nicely done. Kidd locked in a single leg crab. That got the crowd pop. Beretta made it to the ropes for the save to break up the count. Then the video screen lights up with the Japanese symbols. Kidd waited for something, but nothing happened. He turned around into Beretta's tornado DDT slice spread combo for a Beretta victory. Yeah, so that's a surprise, and the underdog won. So far, the show is terrible, but they throw in those matches like this. It wasn't a great match, but worth watching for the future of the business. Nice work. The announce team set up a video that recapped Maxine returning last week. And in the feed pros, when he came back, Maxine was whispering something in Derek Bateman's ear and walked off. AJ Hornswoggle made their entrance. Damn, I thought the feed had died. I was about to take a victory lap like the Swagger style. Those teasing bastards. Match number 2, which was your main event match. Maxine with Derek Bateman defeated AJ with Hornswoggle at 6 minutes 21 seconds. Regal said something about this being Grisham's last night. So that's breaking news. AJ clotheslines Maxine, and Maxine made the cover. I'm confused. Bateman shoved Hornswoggle to the floor. That distracted AJ. Maxine rolled her up by surprise for the win. So what we got? Former NXT competitor back in, and a loser from, well, this is redemption, but AJ's already a pro. Okay, maybe they need to send him to the Pros vs. Joe show on ESPN, one of the sports channels. You know, used to be on TNT, and then following wrestling. Anyways, Maxine rolled her up by surprise for the win. Post-match, Titus O'Neil ran in to scare Bateman off, and then Maxine ran away as well. And the show closed with a video that recapped the Raw main event. And the breaking news, Todd Grisham called his final WWE NXT television show on Tuesday. And he will no longer be a backstage announcer on Raw or SmackDown because he's headed to ESPN, just like Jonathan Coachman did. And William Regal acknowledged his broadcast partner's departure during the show and then wished Grisham good luck in your new career at ESPN in a Twitter post. And you can follow William Regal at twitter.com/RealKingRegal. And also you can catch his comments and his own website at realkingregal.com. Okay, back to the Ryan Lunning attending SmackDown taping in Calgary passed along the following report. Bret Hart enters the ring as the general manager of SmackDown. He spoke about the live SmackDown next Tuesday and said it was his decision. Sure it was. He said Mark Henry versus Randy Orton will take place on that show. Out comes Christian, who said it was not his fault for losing that SummerSlam. He blamed Edge, and he couldn't concentrate during the SummerSlam match. Christian wants his rematch Tuesday on the live SmackDown. Yes, next Tuesday will be live on the same channel. They're just going to repost the same show at the regular time on Friday. Okay, Brett told Christian to stop being a crybaby. He said he's an embarrassment to the WWE Universe and to Canada. Well, yikes, he said. He has to work his way back up. Christian called Brett an embarrassment and said he's the only relevant Canadian. Christian presented a court order to Bret Hart that says he gets his rematch before anyone else gets a title shot. Bret gave it to him for next Tuesday and added that it will be in a steel cage match. Okay, Mark Henry then comes out and says he's been here for 15 years. He said this is disrespect and that he earned his shot. He said someone's going to get hurt. He wants the winner of the cage match. He was trying to bully Bret, and now out comes Sheamus, who tells a story about how his uncle castrated a black bull. He's going to do the same. He clears Henry from the ring. Then they did a retake of the same segment. Yes, it was botched. This is why I give the entire SmackDown episode, Botch Down, as the title. And the first match was Christian defeating Daniel Bryan. Christian won with a kill switch, an excellent match, just as you would expect from those two. Wade Barrett came out for a match against a local wrestler. He said he's responsible for attacks on John Cena and others. He said he has shaken WWE to its very core. Get it? Core? It's a former tag team and NXT members. He says there is no way he will face this guy. He said it was an embarrassment and then left. That was the end of the segment. Seriously. Alberto Del Rio will face Sin Cara on the live show next week. And that's your main event for next Friday, next Tuesday's and Friday SmackDown. Match number 2, Sin Cara defeated Heath Slater. There was a couple of botched moves and a quick roll up for the win. Then they redid the match again. They had to reshoot because they didn't like the finish the first time. But the kids love Sin Cara. Match number 3, Randy Orton defeated Ted DiBiase with Cody Rhodes, the best, the not botched match of the night. Cody said he performs miracles and he is resurrecting the Intercontinental title. The paper bags were handed out. It was nice. It was a nice match with lots of great spots. They had obvious chemistry with one another. Orton got the win with the RKO. Well, Cody was pissed to hit crossroads on DiBiase after the match. Then he put a paper bag on his head, and their relationship appears to be finished. And thus is your starting of the storyline with their feud for the next month or so, I guess. Match number 4, Kelly beat Tamina. Kelly, oops, only twice. Won with her new finisher. Jinder Mahal was schooling the Great Khali and telling him he needs to take care of Ezekiel Jackson. And that match was next. Well, so it was. Randy Orton versus Christian in a cage match was officially advertised for the live SmackDown show for next Tuesday and Friday. Match number 5, Ezekiel Jackson defeated Great Khali. Jackson broke out of a vice grip and put Khali in a torture rack. Impressive. Randy Orton cut a promo on the big screen. He basically asked how many times he has to fight Christian. Match number 6, Sin Cara defeated Heath Slater again. They did the rematch completely. No kidding. And shockingly, it was way better than the second time. So, there was 3 times that they done that match. Match number 7, which was your main event. Thus is why I'm posting these results, because they weren't finished with any of the programming until almost midnight tonight. So I wonder if the fans got their money worth. 5 hours of wrestling. That's almost better than a pay-per-view. Well, that's Canada for you. They'll do that for other countries, but won't do it for your own. Okay, match number 7. Sheamus defeated Mark Henry by countout. This was a slow pod match. Sheamus scored the countout victory after throwing Henry into the announcer's table. Afterwards, Henry killed Sheamus with the world's strongest slam onto the ring steps. That ended your taping, and now for your match main event, Randy Orton defeated Christian in a street fight with Bret Hart as the special referee. Triple H came out before the match, but put over Calgary and brought out Bret Hart. Christian refused to wrestle until Triple H tossed him into the ring. Orton won with a RKO after the match. Bret put Christian in a sharpshooter. And Air Canada Center is advertising Edge for the September 13th SmackDown taping from the venue in Toronto, Ontario, Canada, while Edge recently stated he would be there but would not appear on camera. WWE is also advertising him for the show. So, he may be on there in some sort, just like he was previously with the Christian segment, last week or whatever, at the pay-per-view, I should say. Last night's WWE Raw did a 3.0 cable rating off hours of 2.93 and 3.01, with an average viewing audience of 4,637,000 viewers on the USA Network. WWE has announced that Bret Hart will serve as the general manager of SmackDown on this week's show from his hometown of Calgary, Alberta, Canada, and that's probably will be for next week's show as well. And that ends the taping results for this week. Thank y'all and have a blessed week.